welcome back to my channel and welcome back to Weekly Reads, where I talk about the books that I read in the past week and the ones that I'm reading currently. And a lot of people have joined in, subscribed recently. Thank you so much. Like, honestly, my aim with this channel is very simple. Like, I just want to share my love of books. I actually don't care about how many people are watching these videos. I don't care about how many people are actually subscribed. Like, for me, the numbers, they don't matter much, but what matters the most to me is people are taking away something from what I am saying. Like, even if I can influence a few people to read a book, even if I can influence a few people to pick up a book and kind of change their mindset along the way, that's a huge deal for me. Like, in my head, when I restarted this channel, it was just that even if there are like 2 to 3 people watching my videos diligently and kind of getting inspired by it or kind of picking up books that I mention, that itself is a success. And that's what I've been following so long, and here we are at 1.5k subscribers. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much. I am grateful. I am extremely grateful, and this is a bit of an emotional moment, but I'm not going to cry on camera. But yeah, thank you so much for all the support, for the love. And meanwhile, if you've not watched the Independence Day special stuff yet, go ahead, do that. Link is in the description box. You don't want to miss good stuff. So that being said, let's move on to the books that I read in the past week. So talking about the books that I finished in the past week, I didn't finish any book in the past week, but there was one book that I forgot to mention in my last weekly reads. Yeah, this never happens, but this happened this time. And it is something that's a very important read as per me, and that's Say Nothing by Patrick Radden Keefe. Say Nothing is basically the story of the Irish Troubles. So just like we talk about the partition, the Holocaust, this is also one of those things that need to be spoken about, where a lot of people, like thousands of people, died because of skirmishes between the Protestants and Catholics in Ireland, backed by the British government. So the thing is that the story is pretty grey, it's pretty complicated. It talks about the IRA, that is the Irish Republican Army, where they actually, used to bomb British establishments because they wanted like a free Ireland. It's a very interesting political non-fiction read for sure. So if political non-fiction is your kind of thing, including like hints of terrorism or justice, crime, where to draw the line, things like that, this is the book that you have to read, because it's a very grey book. It's not at all black and white, because there are issues on both the sides, right? On the Northern Irish side as well as the British side, basically. So I think I would encourage you to read this if you are like a political non-fiction enthusiast. That being said, let's get to the books that I'm reading currently. So the book I'm like way through, 54% through, is Clara and the Sun by Kazuo Ishiguro. And this kind of took a backseat in the past week because I was trying to get a lot of stuff together for the Independence Day special. But let me tell you that I am still enjoying this book. It's a very unique book which talks about Clara and the sun. I think that it's best to get into this book without knowing who Clara is and what is the sun all about, or is it the sun in our solar system basically. But this is like one of my books from the book a long list that I'm reading, and it's my first Ishiguro, right? So I'm enjoying it thoroughly. That being said, the next book that I am way through, so this is a new edition in this list, and this is an Indian non-fiction book, and that's this one. This is Chup, Breaking the Silence About India's Women by Deepa Narayan. So basically I'm reading this for the Consciousness Raising Book Club, which is a book club run by Smriti from Sant Reads. And this book is about India's women and their how women have been conditioned and what kind of violence do women actually face in India, and how like this has been written in a sort of an academic format, but it's very easy because in 2 days, although it's a non-fiction book, triggering AF, I finished 103 pages, right? And yeah, like I'm done with this much within like just 2 days. 2 days as in 2 hours of reading basically. So it's a very very easy read, but it's a very triggering read at the same time. So I do recommend this. I do recommend this so far. However, I'm like looking forward to finishing the book and then discussing the book as a part of the book club as well. So yeah, that's that. Um, the next book that I'm kind of way through, and this is on the back burner for now because I read a lot of it in the past week, I think, and that is this one, A Suitable Boy by Vikram Seth. So I am on part 7 currently, and let me tell you, if you're an Indian and if you are someone who wants to like explore more of Indian literature, you have to read this book. Like I'm extremely enjoying this book, and so far whatever I've read, I've enjoyed that as well. So I've read till part 6 and I just like started part 7 before it went to the back burner, that is. And although this is an extremely like chonky heavy book of 1400 pages, it's kind of an easy read. Okay, you'll get through this like pretty easily, and it is a must read, I feel. The book is kind of set a few years after the partition, somewhere, when India is going to become a republic, and it talks about a lot of like socio-political aspects in the Indian society at that time in this fictional town called Brahmapur. It's not only about an arranged marriage, it's also about the political tensions, the religious tensions, and the constitutional, I would say, amendments that are being made during that time. And that's why this is an important book to read. So that's why I say, if you're an Indian, you have to read it no matter what. That being said, the next book that I am reading, but then I'm kind of like a bit slow with it and I have to quicken my pace, and that's Hamnet by Maggie O. Farrell, which is the 2020 Women's Prize in Fiction winner. I kind of am at a very early stage to even make a comment on this book, but so far whatever I've read, it's like okay, it's like fine, but I'm hoping that my opinion changes once I'm done with like 50 pages, because I'm just on the 14th page apparently. So this is like the start of the book. So yeah, anyway, you got my point. And yeah, so that's that. So that being said, again, let me reiterate my reading plans. Like if you're new here and you don't know what I do, I like talk about my reading plans as well. So first thing I am looking forward to finish is the BookTube Prize finals. So I am one of the judges for the BookTube Prize finals, where there are amazing books that have been shortlisted. I have 4 books to go, and I need to read them, and Hamnet is one of them, by the way. The next project is the Booker Prize Longlist project, which I'm kind of lagging behind, and the reason I'm doing the lagging behind, especially with the Booker Prize project, is because I have the BookTube Prize to finish, because BookTube Prize, that the deadline is September end, right? So I have to read like books ASAP in order to get my ratings and rankings in. So yeah, that's happening. And that being said, I still do plan to finish 4 books from the Booker Prize project, from the long list especially, including Clara and the Sun. But when it comes to the shortlist, I'll be reading it entirely. So I think once the shortlist is announced, I'll be like getting into the shortlist ASAP. So yeah, that's a plan. So yeah, this is what I do on weekly reads. Like if you're new here, but for those who've stayed here, like you know what I do. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on my weekday video. Thank you so much. Bye.